What's up, everybody? I'm George Mossey. I'm here with Marshana, Dahlia, Spavento. Last night, we got 90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After, Season 6, Episode 1. Yes, Season 6. We are 6 years into Happily Ever After. This is a really long-running spinoff. So let's jump right in. Angela and Michael are back, and well, separately, because due to COVID, they haven't actually seen each other for 7 months. And Angela's prepping for her weight loss surgery, which Michael does not approve of. How do you feel about weight loss surgery? I was just wondering, what are your views on that?
I mean, she definitely does need to lose some weight. So I'm an advocate of being at a healthy weight. I'm not here to advocate for one body type over another. That's not
Right.
what I'm saying. Don't at me. Okay. I'm just saying that I'm here for healthy weights. I do believe that there could be or maybe a possible alternative way for her to lose the weight.
Right.
However, the part that scares me about her with this weight loss surgery is the fact that she is not following the doctor's orders.
Mm-hmm.
Smoking ahead of surgery and during surgery is going to impede her wound recovery. And they're telling her, okay, you can't do this, you can't do that, the eating, and she's just not following the protocol. So I think that a lot of people misconceive that or misconstrue that weight loss surgery is an easy way out. But it's a
Right.
very big responsibility to undertake, not just for your doctors, but for you, the patient. And I just don't see Angela, because of her narcissism,
Mm-hmm.
she can't follow the rules.
I agree. I don't feel like she's going to follow the rules, and I'm worried about her. She says she's been smoking for 40 years. I'm just worried about her health. Her health is something that she doesn't take seriously, and I'm worried about her. So one more thing about that, I want to talk about Aunt Lydia. We got a scene with Aunt Lydia last night, and Aunt Lydia was determining how to spend Angela's money and what's the best way to spend Angela's money. That kind of irritated me.
You saw it?
Huh?
You saw it as Aunt Lydia determining how Angela should spend her money?
Yeah. Aunt Lydia said that she should be taking the money she's spending on surgery to pay for a surrogate. That's deciding how other people should spend their money. And I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that at all.
I disagree. I saw Aunt Lydia as advocating for the cultures that they were brought up in, that Michael was raised in, and advocating for the values that they hold within their culture. And one of those values being having a child. And she's saying that she is worried about her beauty. She is looking after her beauty, and she's not looking after how to give you a child. And I agree. I agree, because for them as a family, that is their value. They value that. And they when Angela was scamming her way into this family, she said, okay, I can't tote it, but I need an egg or whatever. And now they're just seeing that she's prioritizing elsewhere. I don't think she might have brought up money, but I don't know if she really meant it in terms of money. I think it was more the idea that she's not upholding the values that we would have had, and that's why he should have gotten a Nigerian wife.
We're gonna agree to disagree here because we got a lot of stuff to talk about. So I'm just gonna let's move on. Also, guys, what do you think? Do you think Aunt Lydia is spending Angela's paycheck before Angela gets a hold of it, or do you think that she's just trying to look out for Michael and his culture? You guys tell me. All right, so let's talk about Mike and Natalie. They were back. Shocking announcement last night. They made it 6 months. So I owe a whole bunch of people $500 because I just knew that was never going to happen. I gave it 30 days at most. So not only are they still together, she've already found another grievance with Mike. He's not wearing a wedding ring, and that bothers her. And the whole situation is so ironic to me because every time I hear her say the words wedding ring, I see her vividly throwing one at Mike. So every time that she says something about a ring, it's just hilarious to me because I was like, that means something to you because it didn't mean nothing to you when you threw it at him because you were basically rejecting him. Throwing a ring at someone that they gave you is rejecting them in the most nastiest way. So the fact that it bothers her so much, it kind of makes me happy. Like it makes me smile because I was like, that's what you get.
Well, Natalie has a classic case of chronic dissatisfaction, right? There's never going to be anything that Mike could ever do to be enough for Natalie. So she's always going to find something to pick at. If he bought a wedding ring and wore it for the rest of his life, she would then have to find something else, and she will find something else. So he is really chasing a carrot. It's never going to be enough. And the relationship, you might have lost $500, but don't worry, they will not make the test of time. They won't last longer than 2 years, and that's me being very generous.
Well, when I saw the announcement that they had made it 6 months and neither one of them had successfully killed the other, I was very shocked. I was like, you mean to tell me that these two people who literally cannot stand each other, they're like two caged dogs, are living in the same house during COVID and not one of them has been buried yet. I was impressed, but also shocked and just appalled. I was like, I can't even deal with the fact that he's dealt with her for this long. I can't imagine dealing with her for 5 minutes.
I can't.
All right, so let's talk. Oh, one more thing about them. He's planning a vacation. Well, he want to call it that, but they're going to his mom's house for Thanksgiving. And Natalie is really upset because we know that Mike's mom told Tamara to stand up and oppose the wedding. So I feel like there might be a confrontation there because, Natalie is always looking to cause some sort of problem wherever she goes. So they're going to go to Mike's mom's house. And of course, Natalie is going to bring it up. And I'm interested in seeing how Mike's mom handles it because Mike's mom doesn't seem to have a problem telling Natalie how she feels.
Well, we'll see.
Yes, we will. So let's talk about my favorite person to hate. He's back. It's Andre and his wife, Libby, are back. And he has successfully been scamming Libby's family for 3 years. Or I'm sorry, they've been married for 3 years. And he has been scamming them and not working for this whole time. And now he has a new scam. And don't get me wrong, I like scams. Scams are great as long as they're not being done to me. But his newest scam is stealing $100,000 from Chuck, who is Libby's dad, to supposedly start a house flipping business, which he's never flipped a house in his life.
What's interesting to me is that he feels like he's supposed to be rewarded for like any effort that he thinks he makes. So for him, getting his real estate license is something that he should be rewarded and lauded for. Getting a real estate license is something that's very easy to do. It takes about 2 weeks. You can even do it online. You do not deserve to be rewarded. Stop acting like you earned a master's or a bachelor's degree or a doctorate. You did none of the above. And simply getting getting your certification as a realtor doesn't mean you have a job, doesn't mean you've worked, doesn't mean you've brought in any money. Real estate is a very self-motivated business and he has no motivation. So I don't know about y'all at home, tweet us, let us know, but it felt so good the way Chuck shut him down. Oh my gosh, I was so excited. Literally the hairs on my arm stood up. That's how titillated I was. Like, normally I think that Chuck caves for the sake of Libby and his granddaughter, but I loved that he was just like, absolutely not. We ain't never done it. And then that's his business, right? He's in the flipping business. He's given him the opportunity before to work with them. He has said no. Now he wants Chuck to give him $100,000 of his hard-earned money so that he can start a flipping business and be his competitor.
Exactly.
And he wouldn't even be his competitor because he'd fail, but whatever.
Well, right. But he would try to flip one house and give up just like he gave up on truck driving. But the audacity, I think what their storyline is, Andre has the audacity to say these things. And I think the shock value is wearing off. Because at this point, we're like, okay, Andre's not going to work. Andre's going to try to steal money from her family. Andre's going to say these crazy things. At this point, I'm feeling like the storyline is running its course. Like they need to try something different because we all know Andre has a huge ego. His audacity is off the chain. He'll ask people things that no one in their right mind would ask another person.
Right.
So I feel like this storyline needs to change. And I've seen a couple of the scenes for the previews for what's coming. And it's the same thing. He's causing trouble in their family. He's making everyone fight. He's sick of everyone leeching off. Well, everyone is sick of him leeching off of the dad, which is ironic because they're all leeching off of the dad. Not one of them has a job.
Effort, and not to be funny, it's their dad, right? So if there's anyone who should be scamming Chuck, at least he could say, well, it's my child and I'm helping my child.
That's true.
Andre, you are none of the above. You are not an employee and you are definitely not his child. And you haven't even really wanted to be his son-in-law. You've just wanted to be a thorn in his side. You wanted to treat him as an ATM. So yeah, there's a distinction between the rest of Chuck's children and you, Andre. And he gave him the opportunity to join the family business and he declined. So there you go.
Yeah. All right, so that's it for part one. We're going to talk about part two. We got a lot more to talk about. Last night's episode was incredibly juicy. I can't wait to talk about it more. I'm George Mossey. This is Marshana, Dahlia, Spavento. I'll put our Twitters and Instagrams at the bottom. This will be on georgemossey.com. And again, part one, Happily Ever After, season 6, episode 1. Thank you guys so much. We'll talk to you real soon.